long should you wait before you update or upgrade your phone? Should you do it this year? Should you wait another year? Well, that's kind of a question that people always ask me. It never ends. It doesn't matter what year it is or what phone came out or whatever it is. You always want to know, should you upgrade to the newest phone? Or if you have this phone, should you upgrade to the next phone? Listen, the question is always the same. It's just worded differently every time. And I can appreciate how confusing it can be. And with any luck, this video will be accurate every single year. Probably not though, but it'll be accurate for now anyway. So let's get into the video right after this.
This is, you listening to Travis.
What up, players? Welcome back. And for all you new people, welcome. My name is Travis and I do tech videos every single week and have a blast doing them. And today we're going to talk about, should you upgrade your phone this year or next year or whenever? So let's get into the video. I actually did a video about this 2 years ago, and it was really popular. You seemed to really like it. And what was interesting about it is the fact that it came from a poll that I did on my community tab, and I asked you, how often do you upgrade? Weirdly, one of the top answers for why people upgraded was when their phone breaks. And that still might be the case. A lot of people are ride or die. They just ride until the wheels fall off. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if a new phone comes out with some fancy new megapixels. That's right, I said pickles. It doesn't matter if it has a 120 hertz screen or any of those things. They only need something that's just gonna work from day to day. And that's typically what most of my viewership is into. Give me a good phone that'll last me a couple years and we're good to go. So let's talk about different phones and which ones you should upgrade. Now we'll start on the Android side of things because it's a little bit more complicated than iOS. So start over there and try to help out the Android fans that are here watching today. Now every year a new phone comes out from multiple manufacturers on Android. And this is what makes things both simple and complicated, because depending on what your phone is, the answer for whether or not you should upgrade is completely different. Now, if you didn't spend a whole bunch of money and you got some type of budget level phone, which would be something $500 or lower, then likely if you've had it for more than about a year and a half or 2 years, you might be looking to upgrade. Now, it's not just because the phone isn't any good anymore. It's probably just as good as it ever was. But the one thing that I always say that always should dictate whether or not you're going to upgrade are updates. Everyone's a little different, and that's what makes Android so complicated. It's not an easy answer. It's not just every 2 years, thank you, please drive around. It's more like, okay, who did you buy it from? What manufacturer? Where do you live in the world? And which one did you buy? Did you buy one of the flagships or did you buy one of the budgets? Because by and large, no matter who you buy the phone from, more or less, if you bought a budget or entry-level phone, you're only getting 1 or 2, maybe 2 operating system updates. But again, more importantly than that are the security updates. And what you should do is look at the past and the way that those companies have treated those updates in the past as to whether or not you think they're going to do so in the future. Because yes, even now, people are still using exploits to get into your phone, which holds all types of data about your social media, your money, your things you shouldn't let other people see. So you need to make sure you have your security buckled down. And if your phone no longer gets security updates, you need to get traded in. You need just trade it in. Another problem with Android phones is there's so many manufacturers out there using their own skin on top of Android, which means you don't just wait for the newest version of Android to come out. You have to wait for the manufacturer to then put their stamp of appeal on it and also change what they have to change. And then of course, beyond that, if you're on a carrier, a lot of times you have to wait for it to go through your carrier as well. So there's these obstacles from getting from an update that's manufactured and made to actually to your phone. Sometimes that can take upwards of a year. Even Google has had problems with that this year with their own Pixel line of phones. The update that was supposed to come out in December for them didn't come out in December. And that's Google. That's their own phone. Android smartphones running Android 1 are guaranteed at least 2 years of updates. Now that seems to be minimal nowadays. That's pretty much the minimum of what you'll get from most manufacturers, unless again, it's a super budget phone. You should be getting at least 2 years, but even that is just a general rule of thumb. They don't even necessarily have to do that. It's just what they've said kind of to people asking, how long are you gonna support our phones? Probably at least 2 years. And if you Google a phone and you look at the manufacturer and you see their track record and see they have not been supporting their phones for at least 2 years, you should not buy the phone. I don't care how cheap it is, you should not buy the phone. Because one thing is for sure, when your information gets compromised because you downloaded some type of fake app and your phone was not protected, you're gonna wish you spent the extra $30. Now, top of the hill on the Android side of things is Google, who has pledged their support for 3 years of Android updates, which is great. That's just the operating system updates. Of course, they're gonna support the security for even longer than that. Next up is OnePlus. Now, again, if you know anything about this channel, you know I love the OnePlus 7 Pro, and I hope that one day OnePlus gets back to that, giving us flagship killer devices for flagship killer prices. For their flagship phones, they are supporting up to 3 OS updates and 4 years of security updates, which means that's a heck of a deal. I love that right now. Now, if you're getting one of their less expensive series, you're going to get approximately 3 years of security updates with maybe 1 Android update. Again, however much you're spending on your phone is about what you can expect as far as security updates go. So make sure that if you're going to hold on to your phone for a long period of time, you're at least investing in something that's going to get a lot of updates. Of course, the big boy Samsung comes in at the beginning of 2021, finally went out there and said, we're going to give you 4 years of the security upgrades. Thank goodness for that. But what's even more impressive is the fact that this new promise is across basically all of their phones, whether it's a budget level phone or one of the flagships. So again, leading the way for Android is Samsung. If Samsung did not make Android smartphones, where would Android be right now? I mean, they're really the savior of Android. I know that there's Huawei and all the others out there that, I mean, Huawei doesn't even exist if you live in America, basically. But if it wasn't for Samsung, let me tell you something, Android would be in a lot of trouble. Companies like Xiaomi and Oppo are in the 3 to 4 year update kind of promise, so to speak, for their phones. I think everyone's just trying to feel this out. It's kind of a newer thing. And, you know, again, if you're on Android, you're probably covered for at least 3 years if you're not skimping out. Now, there's enough options out there that will give you at least 3 years that I would actually stay away from any company that's only offering 2 years of updates for a smartphone, because at this point, I mean, you just go to Samsung and they're going to give you a lot more than that. So, you know, listen, don't save yourself 10 or 20 bucks now and then have a whole bunch of pressure behind you in a couple of years when the latest virus is out there jacking everyone's social security number from their smartphone. Don't do that to yourself. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. Of course, there's tons of other manufacturers out there with tons of other promises of 2, 3, 4, or maybe even more years of support. And again, those are separate from the security support, the security promises. So I don't know what to tell you as far as those is concerned. Tell me in the comments below which one you have and what you think kind of support you're going to get for the future. Which brings us over to iPhone, and this is so much easier. It's so much easier on iOS because there's only one manufacturer of iPhones, and that's Apple. And while they don't specifically promise a certain amount of years of support, they have done a spectacular job. I mean, up to this point, the iPhone 6S is still supported on current operating systems. That phone is like 1 billion years old. Okay, just kidding. It was out in 2015, but that seems so long ago. If you could go back and tell your 2015 version of yourself what's going on right now, do you think you would believe yourself? Because I know I wouldn't. But that right there is like 6 years. It's ridiculous. It's the class leading amounts of support, which in their operating system updates also have security updates. And then of course, every so often when you get a 0.1 or 0.2 version of a software update, you're also getting security updates in those as well. And as an operating system, it's pretty darn secure. So with an iPhone, it's pretty much how long have you had your phone, and is anything newer than an iPhone 6S? You don't have to upgrade, but there are some reasons to upgrade. If you have a phone that's older than like an iPhone 11, that means you are missing out on nighttime mode, being able to take really good pictures at night. And if you don't have anything from the Pro series of phones in the last couple of years, it means you probably only have 1 or 2 lenses. And whether you have an ultra wide or a telephoto and all the other options you have in between, you're missing out on those as well. So quite frankly, if you're down in the iPhone 8 and below, which in this particular case, I guess is iPhone 10 and below, because that came out the same year. There is no iPhone 9, by the way. What the heck? Then I think it's probably time. Even if you don't go for the iPhone 13 right now, wait a little bit more. We're almost less than a year away from the iPhone 14. Then you'll have so many different options, because if you look at the different phones that Apple currently sells on their site, you have a breadth of price ranges, of which you are completely supported with some incredible hardware. Another thing to consider, if your battery isn't doing as well as it used to when you first bought it, if you have an iPhone, you're actually in a pretty good situation. You just go to an Apple store and they'll actually put in a new battery into your phone for much less than it would cost you to get a new phone. So you can actually kind of refreshen your phone to a almost new state. But I still think at this point, there's so many great iPhones out there for incredible prices that I would just go ahead and upgrade. Again, if you have anything less than an iPhone 11, you can start looking this year. If you want to wait for the iPhone 14 and then get a big breadth of different types of phones, that might be the move, because some of the things we're hearing about the iPhone 14 sound pretty amazing. But what do you think? Tell me in the comments below. How long have you waited before you've upgraded? Are you upgrading this year? I'd love to hear about it. I have some other videos here you should probably check out, but I'll see you next time. Peace and love.